Hey everyone, so earlier today, the kits for the Walpurgis IDs, Walpurgis 8, dropped in Twitter and Steam, and I took a look at them and wrote down my thoughts before hitting the record button today. I am trying to get a little bit better at analyzing these things for my own sake. And I hope I get everything right here, but if I miss something or don't get something quite right, please let me know in the comments. With that out of the way, let me start with Ryoshu's ID. So the main thing I can see from Ryoshu's ID is that she only has 6 bullets with her gun. And you will run out of it very quickly because her skill 1 uses 2 bullets and her skill 2 uses 1 bullet. Funny enough, skill 3 doesn't use any bullets, but that's not really the point here. Whenever she does use a bullet, she inflicts solitude, which makes the target take more gloom damage and also changes their panic type to solitude, which makes them gain sinking count. Sinking count, not sinking stacks, apparently, at the end of the turn, which is kind of interesting. But also, she will be using her skill 1, as I think whenever a unit is staggered or if a unit has less than a certain amount of SP. So more bullets get used when that happens. But if she doesn't have any bullets, she will use her non-bullet version for her skill 1. Speaking of which, once she does run out of bullets, apparently, skill 1 will change into an unclashable, unfocused volley. I don't know if that's an AoE. It kind of sounds like it might be an AoE, but we'll have to see once we get there. The main thing about her skill 1, though, is that. Yeah, so the thing with skill 1 is once you run out of bullets, you can't clash anymore, and it will be unopposed attacks from there on. So be careful, I guess, whenever you do decide to use it. After she runs out of bullets, skill 2 will be her main clashing skill and a reliable source of her other unique stack, Faint Aroma. Along with skill 3 also does a decent amount of Faint Aroma. Faint Aroma is a tremor mechanic that does need sinking to increase its stack. If Tremor Burst is activated on the unit, it will spread Faint Aroma. If Faint Aroma stacks are max, the unit will gain Tremor and also trigger Tremor Burst, and also take Gloom damage based on its sinking before losing all the Faint Aroma. And if that's not enough, if the unit has Faint Aroma and dies, it's going to spread Faint Aroma to the rest of its allies. So in this case, the other enemies, if there are more enemies around. So it just keeps piling on. It just keeps on spreading like a virus. Skill 2 and Skill 3, as I said earlier, will constantly deal Faint Aroma, Sinking, and Tremor. So things can get pretty crazy pretty fast, especially if you build around either Sinking or Tremor. If that's not enough, Ryoshu will also gain stacks of Petals. That will increase her offense level and keep stacking if enemies take Sinking damage. Gain Faint Aroma, or Faint Aroma is not Faint Aroma, or Tremor Burst is triggered. At a certain petal level, she'll also unlock her skill 3 2, which is unclashable, so again, unopposed attacks, and will looks like it deals AoE damage. So, yeah, it's looking like if you got a sinking team already, this will be a very, very nice addition for a sinking team. Would highly recommend it, along with maybe some Tremor to make full use of her kit. Maybe you don't need Tremor. We'll see. We'll see. Meursault, on the other hand, seems to be the first ID that's basically infinite ammo, or has infinite ammo, I should say. All of his skills use ammo in the form of Spore Round Base or Spore Round Buckshot. Coins that use the base version will hit only one target. Coins that use Buckshot will be an AoE that deals less damage to any non-main targets. Both ammos will inflict Spore, which inflicts burn at the end of each turn and also bind at the next turn. It doesn't look like it expires, and all skills will burn and bleed of varying amounts and gain coin power based on the stack of burn and bleed. That's pretty darn strong already. You can reload ammo manually by using his defense skill or using his skill 2 under certain conditions, or just using his skill 3, or running out of ammo. Basically infinite ammo. If you do run out of buckshot, you will use your base ammo to convert to buckshot at the cost of SP. Depending on how much that SP is, you might have to keep an eye on his SP just to make sure he doesn't go into the negatives. But ammo seems to be reloaded once the next coin can't be used due to the lack of ammo. So let's say you run out of base rounds, you'll probably go into reload. You'll also skip the rest of the skill according to the description. If you run out of buckshot, though, you will use your base rounds, and then if you run out of buckshot after that, I think it might reload according to the description. Anyway, his other status effects seems more like a bonus and not really a core mechanic, but it is worth mentioning since I've seen some mentions here and there that, oh, he only gets this on kill. Loyalty pheromones is gained if a target with Spore is killed, which increases haste, protection, and clash power based on the amount of stacks. Also gives him unbreakable coins on skill 2 and skill 3. On top of that, it also increases attack weight on skill 3, meaning AoE potential goes even higher. That's, yeah. If you didn't have enough AoE on Meursault already with this ID, then there you go, even more AoE. He seems to work really well with both burn and bleed comps and gains count mainly on skill 2 and the last hit of skill 3, which also activates burn stacks without if you don't crack it. So just pick your favorite and go wild. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. Is it gonna be a replacement for thumb salt? Mm, maybe questionable. I don't know. We'll have to see numbers. I do hope he has better base numbers than thumb salt though, because I keep finding myself getting staggered or at least not losing my clashes with thumb salt. So there is that. Sinclair, on the other hand, is a fairly simple ego and has simple mechanics compared to the IDs. And it does seem to be a little bit more support oriented. Then again, I mean, I feel like most egos are support oriented anyway, but this one more so than others. It seems that clash power increases with bleed and burn, as well as increases the damage based on how low his HP is. And on top of that, it also looks like it's an AoE. So if the ego kills the main target, you will gain Rhythm, which is his unique stack for this ego. Rhythm increases damage at the cost of defense and expires at the end of the turn. The ego's third coin can be reused if it hits heads, or unconditional if you're corroded, which allows him to stack more effects. With his passive, he keeps up Rhythm, I'm assuming mostly on himself, and also has some nice other bonuses like recovering HP and SP. I didn't mention this earlier, but the other IDs, both Meursault's and Ryoshu's, seems to also have HP and SP recovery mechanics. I think for Meursault, he even has a all allies heal SP at turn end. Yeah, that's kind of nice actually. For Sinclair specifically, he seems to work really well with either burn or bleed teams. And because of that, I would highly recommend Hornet Meursault and probably Kira Ishmael. So that's the quick and dirty as far as I could tell from the skits. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? Or what do you see would work with these IDs and ego? All right, I'll see you later then. Bye.